Hey, happy Friday. How's everyone doing? I bet you're looking forward to the weekend. I know I am. So today I want to talk about anxiety and some of the things that cause it, and more importantly, what you can do to help yourself if this is something you're struggling with. So I have a lot of experience with this topic. It's not funny. I laugh with freedom because I'm so glad this is gone. And the reason why I brought this up is because I had a lady go through my TikTok last night, and she saw my anxiety TikTok and was like, this is exactly how I feel right now. And I haven't spoken about anxiety in a while, but I know that this is it's equal to the number one symptom with fatigue with thyroid warriors. Anxiety is off the charts. I feel like everyone's on some sort of a Xanax, some sort of a antidepressant to handle their anxiety. So I thought it would be really good to speak on this again. Hey everyone, thanks for being here. So of all of you that just joined, are any of you struggling with anxiety? Unfortunately, I feel like it's just super, super common. So let's talk about it. Sorry, notification. Okay, so my experience with anxiety started off with a car accident, actually a really severe car accident when I was 19 on the South 15 freeway in San Diego. It's like a massive, huge freeway, and it was a 6-car pileup. So I can tell you that there are multiple reasons why anxiety begins. And from that experience with me, it was from trauma. So we can have anxiety, we can have trauma triggers. After that, I didn't want to drive on the freeway anymore. The thought of it gave me anxiety, panic attacks, right? It was my body just saw the freeways as danger, don't go there. And which I know my body is just trying to keep me safe with those reactions of anxiety. And I appreciate that, but it still really sucked, right? To have anxiety just around the thought of getting on the freeway. And then some of the other areas that I started having anxiety was with interviews and speaking in front of people. I still am actually getting over my fear of public speaking, which I have to really get over because I want to speak on stages one day. So again, these are the normal areas of anxiety where our body will have this reaction, and it's just basically a safety reaction. And then there's anxiety that I feel like a lot of thyroid warriors are dealing with all the time, and it's over anxiety. It's too much. It's something's going haywire in your body and you can't make it stop. So this is the anxiety that I really want to speak to today, because I know from my own experience that this is what put my life in a prison. And I went from, it was a slow prison that built, and it started with the anxiety around driving, and then it went into the anxiety around being in big crowds, and then it went, to the anxiety of interviews, the anxiety of being in front of people. And slowly I just felt like my life was kind of caving in on me, and I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. And it was anxiety was winning. So I had no idea in my 20s, my late 20s and early 30s, when I was going through all of this massive anxiety, that there was actually a reason in my body that this was happening. And now, as a coach, and since I guinea pigged myself to death and I was able to uncover all of my root causes, I understand anxiety so much more. And this is what I want to teach you guys, a little look into what anxiety really is from today. So a lot of you don't realize this, but we are all walking around with a lot of heavy metals in our body. Heavy metals are aluminum, mercury, cadmium, arsenic. There's 6 of them. And these heavy metals, we get them from all kinds of places. We inherit them in our bodies while we are being grown in the womb. They are passed generationally. I know that a lot of just toxins in general are passed down to us, but especially heavy metals. And then when we come into the world, we are exposed to them in a lot of different areas. Basically, like there's some in food, some in air, and some in water. And you might say, like, water, what do you mean? Well, if you're using ionized water, you are getting metals in your water. And people that are drinking ionized water all the time are more likely to have the neurological conditions when they grow up, when they get older, like dementia, Alzheimer's, and as, younger, you can have a lot of the neurological symptoms like anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, things like that. Some of the ways that we are getting metals through our environment is through herbicides, pesticides, the pesticide sprays that they put on all of the crops. Again, this is why it's so important to eat organic. And they drop metals on us through toxins in the sky. It's called Kim and contrails. If you've never heard of that, it's pretty bad. And I mean, the polluted oceans, we get them through swimming in chlorinated pools. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Okay, so instead of being scared and being like, I gotta live in a bubble, because I've been through that too, some of the things we have to do is detox, okay? So what happens when we get these metals in our body is they circulate through our systems, but metals in particular, they get lodged in our brain. Not fun. They get lodged in our brain, and they have an effect on our neurological pathways. So our neurological pathways they kind of look like little hands with fingers, and they have electricity that runs through them. And those are our thoughts. Those are our movements. It's everything for our living. And you can actually have aluminum clogging like a pathway. So you can have like aluminum. And so when that energy, that your thought or the movement, the energy that goes through your neurological pathway, it hits the metal and it's blocked. So when you feel like you're literally short circuiting and you're like, what is wrong with me? I just keep having anxiety. Like I remember this one time I was sitting on the couch with the kids watching a movie. There was literally no reason to be anxious. And I was anxious. It's like moments like that where you can go, okay, this is not normal. Something's seriously wrong with me. And that's what I mean of like short circuiting, right? Makes sense. So that's the main reason of what I feel like is causing the anxiety. Obviously, there are some other big reasons like not sleeping properly. When you're dealing with a lot of neurological fatigue, which is fatigue that's in your central nervous system and down your vagus nerve, that's more of the body fatigue when you feel like your legs are like bricks and you can't move. That's a neurological fatigue. Again, so all of this goes back to a lot of the metals that are in your brain, and they can also get lodged in your liver. They can get lodged in different organs and glands and just wreak havoc on your life. So this information, when I started finding this out, it was for me because I was doing anything and everything I could to try to figure out what the hell was wrong with me. Oh, I want to go back. Actually, there's one more reason that causes anxiety that I personally really suffered with. Because I had anxiety for so long, I mean long time, it was almost like it was habitual for my mind to go into like what if thoughts. I mean, it would be like night before, if I knew I had to go somewhere, do something, night before, I would be laying in bed completely stressed out about it and having a panic attack. And I look back and I can see now that a lot of this was my mind and my body got used to these negative looping fear thoughts. And I would go in this like what if spiral. I would what if myself to death. And it was all the fear thoughts. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this? What if that? And that would make it so I couldn't sleep. And then the next morning, because I was so tired, I would feel extra anxious because I was so tired. And it was just like this big vicious cycle. Big vicious cycle. So at the same time that I started pulling my hair tissue mineral analysis, which I'll talk about in a minute, and I actually had the visual of how much aluminum, I was super high in aluminum in my body and high in mercury as well. And when I actually saw these and I put the connection together of like, wow, I actually have something physical in my body causing this anxiety. Sorry, 1 second. We're having some construction done on the house today. And then I realized that I was also sabotaging myself with these what if thoughts. And I would just put myself in anxiety. So at the same time that I learned how to get the metals out of my body, I also had to completely retrain my brain and become more aware of my thoughts. And it's hard when you start making yourself becoming aware of your thoughts. It is like, it feels like your thoughts control you instead of the other way around. But trust me, you can control your thoughts and it's not them controlling you. I used to feel like I had an alien controlling my brain, but I realized I was giving my power away to my bitch brain, I like to call it, and letting her run the show. So I also had to learn to wrangle in those thoughts and stop them in their tracks. So for example, in the morning, since driving was a trigger for me, if I knew I had to drive somewhere, I would start feeling the what if thoughts come in. What if this, what if that? And as soon as those thoughts started coming in, it was like my heart rate started going up. I was sweating on my armpits. I would get irritable. My energy levels would drop and I just would feel terrible. So I had to consciously be like, no, you need to stop. And it was like me talking to me. And I would have to get control of my mind. So this, I had to work on for a while because I'd been allowing that to happen for maybe like 8 years. And for me, because it was happening for so long, hello, Mindy. You know, if you're sick for 8 years, or in this case, I was allowing my negative thoughts to control me for 8 years. So I can't expect to just get them under control within a month. So at the same time that I was working on getting the metals rebalanced and getting the heavy metals out of my body, I was also working on getting my mind and my thoughts under control, because it doesn't matter how many metals you get out of your body. If you're going to still allow the negative looping fear thoughts that lead to the anxiety and the panic attacks, you're still going to have them, right? So it's a protocol that goes hand in hand, which is what I do actually teach you in my hair tissue mineral analysis testing. So this is the first time that I have shared this with you guys. So I'm excited. Not the first time I've shared it with you. I mean, the first time I've talked to you about it as if now it's available for you to work on with me outside of my one-on-one coaching. So a hair tissue mineral analysis is literally, it's your hair. So you cut it from the nape of your neck under here. and you cut a half an inch of your root off. It's about that big. And it's a screening test. Hang on, let me let the noise pass again. I'll grab a sip of water. Sorry. So it's a screening test that measures 21 levels of your minerals and your metals, such as aluminum, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, the other metals that I was talking about earlier. And it's really cool because your hair reflects long-term metabolic activity. And this test also measures the average of the mineral accumulation in your hair over a 3-month period of time. So yes, the test measures the metals, but it does so much more than that. It also measures your adrenal health and your stress. It also measures your thyroid health and how your thyroid and your adrenals are functioning together. It also goes over your blood sugar imbalances, your carbohydrate imbalances, insulin resistance, cell permeability. So if you're dealing with prediabetes, diabetes, it can tell me a lot about that situation and how we can get that under control. It tells me about your metabolic rate and whether or not you have like a slow metabolism or a fast metabolism, your energy production, and the glandular imbalances, which I already said, of your adrenal and your thyroid. Also, so this test is great. And this is exactly what I've been using to be able to get my anxiety under control. So the way it works is once we pull your test and you snip it off your hair and send it to the lab, we get the results. And then once we have the results, we'll get together on a Zoom and we'll go over the results. You get this beautiful booklet, which I mail to you after we go over it together for you to like really dive into and read about. It's so fascinating. And I will put together a nutritional, lifestyle, and supplemental plan for you. Hi, how are you guys? I'm at the very end of talking about what's causing anxiety and how I can help you overcome it. And the hair tissue mineral analysis is so effective at getting the metals causing your anxiety out of your body and rebalancing your minerals that my phone's waking up. I know this test is so awesome that it can help you get off your anxiety medications, which is really important, you guys. So what I'm seeing on people that are on a lot of medications is it significantly depletes your minerals and your vitamins, which is the big word is called nutrients, right? When you are in a depleted nutrient situation, this is when all of the symptoms are at their highest. This is when you have the hair loss, the inability to lose weight, the fatigue, the memory loss, the brain fog, so many imbalances. So that's why the lifestyle, nutrition, and supplement protocol that we put together based on your results is so crucial. So I can help you with practices to manage your stress, which will also help manage your anxiety, especially if you're one of those people that are on medication and you hate being on medication. This is so for you because it is like the perfect way to holistically rebalance your body so you don't have to be on the medication. So I've been working on my hair tissue mineral analysis and I have completely overcome my anxiety. I went from like literally not leaving my house. I would have panic attacks when I was the passenger to other people driving. I would have panic attacks at the grocery store. I went out on disability because my anxiety and panic attacks were so severe. I couldn't even work anymore, you guys. And this has helped them go away. I do not have anxiety and panic attacks anymore. And because I worked so hard on rebalancing my minerals and metals, and working on the mind piece of stopping the what if, fear thoughts, negative loop feedback. That last month when I was flying on the airplane, because I got like a fear of heights and flying does not help with that. I felt myself going into the negative fear thoughts of like, I'm going to crash and die. And this is going to, all the like, I'm on an airplane scared thoughts. I was so proud of myself that all of the work I've done to get my mind under control, what I love to call my bitch brain under control, so she would stop sabotaging me and causing me to have anxiety and panic attacks every day and ruining my freaking life. I got her under control on the plane, and I kicked her to the back seat, and I put my headphones on, I watched a movie, and I just enjoyed my flight the rest of the time instead of focusing on my death. So everything I teach in the hair tissue mineral analysis is fabulous, and we'll be able to see how high, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but this is actually something I'm seeing. If you have been receiving shots, vaccinations, they are loaded with heavy metals. So if this is something that you've done and now your anxiety is even worse, or like neurological type symptoms have gotten worse. Neurological is like memory fog, or brain fog, memory loss, anxiety, depression. Neurological even goes into your like twitching, numbness, tingles. Think about it. It runs down your vagus nerve, has like all the branches that go off into your body. So you can have like the spasms, all those funky feelings. We can bring this all back to high heavy metals. So if you don't plan on getting any boosters and putting any more metals in your body, and you're done, we can start working on, removing those and bringing up your imbalances, like your magnesium, your sodium, your potassium, your zinc, your selenium, which every single one of my clients, including myself, was like tanked out, like just terribly tanked out in. And the one that I'm seeing the worst is the calcium magnesium combo, which is your adrenals. People's adrenals are just shot. And when you have low adrenal health, you have high anxiety. When you have low adrenal health, you have low fatigue, you have low thyroid. It's all connected, and it's crazy and cool how much this test really tells us, and how we can dive in and really start helping you repair all of this. So I'm 2 years into my hair tissue mineral analysis. I've done 4 protocols now. I do about every 6 months. I retest and do an updated protocol to continue to balance my mineral and metals, because I was so depleted for so long that even now, 2 years in, I'm still working on my balances and getting my adrenals back under control from all of the years of fight or flight that I was constantly putting myself in from my anxiety. So if you guys are interested in checking this out, I have it where you can do one test with me, which is like a 2-month protocol. So we would order your test, get the results. I will go over it, and then we'll have a 90-minute Zoom for the interpretation and the protocol with email support for two months after. Or you can do the 5-month, which is your first test, your first 90-minute Zoom protocol, your 2 months of support, email support with me, then your retest, then another Zoom for the updated interpretation and protocol, and then 2 more months of email support with me, which is the better of the 2 protocols, because it's important. The ongoing testing and the ongoing updating is really important, because you have to realize that anytime you put stuff in your body, whether it's a mineral, a vitamin, a medication, you are truly altering your biochemistry. So you're either altering it in favor of your body, or you're altering it in favor away from your body. And the Xanax, the Zoloft, the clozapam, the 20,000 medications that the pharmacy crams down everyone's throats to mask this, it's hurting you and harming you more than it is helping you. Even though I know it feels like it's helping you temporarily, it's not a long-term solution. It's going to damage you even further. And so this is a great way for a great intervention You're working with me, but you're not in my direct private coaching, so it's not as expensive. But trust me, this is like so important for you guys, especially if you feel like anxiety is like collapsing your life. But like I said before, we can also go into adrenal health, thyroid health, blood sugar, insulin resistance, cell permeability, your metabolism, where you're at with your metabolism. It's so good. And this test doesn't exist out in mainstream, you guys. Doctors, they don't do this. Alternative doctors, they don't even do it either. This is like one of those rare tests that I happened to find from a friend along my path of recovery. And I was like, everyone needs this. Everyone. So if you're in my world, you get this. In my private coaching, we do this. It's not an option. We do this. That's how important it is. So this is me just letting you know that I removed it from just my private coaching and now it's open to everyone. So I love it. All right, you guys, I gotta run. I have a call to jump on with a client. Thank you for watching. I love you guys all. If you have any questions, DM me. Oh, and don't forget that my mastermind starts on Tuesday, and sign up for that is also in the link of my bio. All right, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.